Good morning, everyone. I am Michael Akuche. I write for Technext, and I am very excited to be here. And for this panel session, essentially, will dwell upon two very important disruptive trends in technology, which is NFT and AI. I know most of us have heard about AI everywhere, ChatGPT, BARD, and all of that. But of course, this panel session will dwell on the future of AI and NFT in entertainment. 2 years ago, Buju, or rather Benson, who formerly was known as Buju, released an NFT collection, and there's a whole lot, that is happening in the entertainment industry, and for us to actually understand what's happening, and I believe we have content creators here, people who actually want to embrace these trends, and for us to actually understand how these trends are shaping industry, I have four very intelligent people who will be joining me shortly, and just to discuss. So just give me a moment, okay? All right, so I will be calling to the stage Ven Oputa, the founder of Afrobubble. Okay. Next up, I have Paul Okeugo. Thank you. You can just come in here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then join me to welcome Ebenezer Ugo Akachuku. And finally, we have Malik Afegbua. Yeah. Okay. Okay, we have four persons here, but I'm sure we don't know what they do. But of course, we know that, yes, they are in the industries that I just mentioned. So I'm just going to provide a brief summary about who they are and what they do. So I'm going to start with Ebenezer Ugo Akachuku. He is the founder of Safe Fi Tech. He's a computer scientist and music executive from Nigeria. He actually gained experience working as A&R at Sony Music West Africa, contributing to the deals that brought Davido and Wizkid to the major label. So, yeah. Moving on, we have Ven Oputa, the founder of Afrobubble. He's a seasoned blockchain technology enthusiast and a builder who is excited about the opportunity the space provides. Malik Afegbua, the CEO of SlickCity Media, is a visionary. He's a filmmaker, artist, and designer. Yeah, and I just wanted to just note that Malik actually is he's very involved in AI, and I'm especially glad that he's here because there's a whole lot that I want to discuss, and I believe that he brings a vast wealth of experience to the panel. So moving on, we have Paul Okeugo, the founder and president of Chocolate City Group. Of course, the group that is synonymous with artists like MI, Black Bones, So he's an experienced business development, sales, branding, and marketing executive. He has 20 years of experience working across different industries. So, okay, so jumping into the questions. For Ven Oputa, NFTs. I know what NFTs are. I know everyone here knows what NFTs are, but of course, in 2020, NFTs were huge. Like the metaverse, everyone was just talking about NFTs. But recently, people say that the hype has gone down. There was the first tweet that Jack Dorsey, the former founder of Twitter, the first tweet he made, that tweet was when someone bought it, it was worth 2 point something million dollars. But recently, it's selling for less than $3 to $5, and the value has significantly dropped. And I mean, we have people here, of course, that want to jump into NFTs, and they'll be wondering, I mean, if something was worth so much then, and now it's not worth anything right now, what do you think about the future of NFTs in general? Do you think like they are worthless, or do you believe that this is just a phase and they would, of course, the value would go up eventually?
Hi everyone. So, sorry for the delay. I did just listening to that, right? I can imagine that half of everybody here is like, it's dead, right? NFTs are trash, you know. But what is dead may never die, right? And so the biggest problem with this space and why everything has come crashing down, right, is because realities did not meet expectations, right? So the idea of NFTs, where this was like the new way we could define ownership, and maybe that's the truth, right? Maybe that's what will happen. But at that particular point in time, right, is that we began to realize that the infrastructure, in order for these technology to be well accepted, isn't there yet. So it's obvious that with everything, right, just even given the market conditions that you've seen Bitcoin drop, you know, from all-time high of 69K to about 17 and back to 28 today, is that within the products of this ecosystem, because I'd like to think that NFTs were the first time we could use cryptocurrency to actually buy a product, right, a digital product, you know. So it was like the first product of crypto. And given that the market conditions are bad, it's obvious that, you know, those expectations won't be met. And so people are going to, you know, come up and say, oh no, this is dead, this is done, right? But I like to think like a virus in a system, right? Once it's sort of into it, it will eventually spread. So I'm bullish about the case of NFTs. I think there will be the form of ownerships, right? Because given the world where we are, where half the people here, right, are on their phones, and just think about the next generation that, you know, of kids that don't even know what analog systems are. Ownership is going to be defined by, you know, non-fungible tokens. I'm very bullish about that, and that's just how I see the future of this space. So, Chris,
Okay.
is it good?
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yeah, so essentially, we should still have hope.
Oh yes, definitely have hope.
Okay.
What is
Okay.
dead may never die.
All right. Thank you very much. Moving on to Paul. I believe you're familiar with Eclipse Nkasi, a former promoter. And of course, he made the news for creating a music album in 3 years using AI. I mean, that's actually crazy because, I mean, I listen to music, and of course, I know it's difficult I mean, just write a song and then make an album out of it. It's crazy. And to think that AI helped with that process and shortened the time frame, what do you think? Do you think this is a trend? Do you expect to see more of this in the music industry?
Is that for me, right?
Paul, yeah.
All right. So, thank you for having me. And so, I think people always forget that the music industry has always gone through disruption. And today is no different. Like I'm always amazed when I see the excitement, and people say, "Oh, AI has come, and the music business will never be the same." And I guess it's just a function of age. Maybe we're just older than a lot of people, but I remember when the music industry was, it was people pressing plates in sort of factories, right? I remember it was vinyl, and then somebody said, "Oh wow, have you seen this new technology with sort of CDs? It's going to change everything forever." And then after a while, people said, "Oh, there's now Apple Music has come. The music industry is going to change forever." So like every 10 or so years, there's always something that happens to the music industry, right? So I don't think this is any different. I pretty much focus on the consumer. That's the one thing that never changes. The one constant is that people will listen to music, right? And however that music comes, it's a whole different thing. However, with AI in particular, there are some uses. Of course, there are some uses. For me, those uses are pretty much technical. So AI can help in many ways. For example, like speeding up the production process, or helping you with some recommendation data. Because like now, music business is quite tech-driven as well. So we use quite a lot of data as well. So AI can help us to make the right recommendations. And so on and so forth. So I think the uses are very, very technical. The question is, when Nkasi, who used to work for me as well, when he made that album with using AI, what was the response? That's the most important thing, right? How many albums has he sold? How many streams has he garnered? That's what the industry is about. It's a sales business, right? It's not a business of, it's a music business, it's a sales business, right? So yeah, I think while I'm embracing the whole AI thing for its uses technically, I still focus a lot more on the consumer side and what people will do with music that they like. That's the most important thing. I hope that helps.
Okay, just as a follow-up question, aside from music, AI also helps writers, it helps journalists also to make our tasks easier. But of course, there is a thin line between using it as an assistant and then, just, will I say, giving in and then making it the boss. So at what point should musicians draw the line? Like, at what point should they allow their creativity to still speak?
So, I happen to own an agency as well, a couple of agencies actually, and I don't think there will ever be a time where you can replace human creativity, right? I'm not worried about that at all. That's the least of my worries, because no matter how much AI grows, human creativity. Back. Yeah, so I was saying that human creativity, both in music, in any creative endeavor, music, film, agency, like in my agency, I have a couple of copywriters now who are panicking because of AI. They're like, okay, look, will I become obsolete? Will I lose my job because AI can do better than me? And I'm like, no, like the AI can help, but you still need that human creativity to sort of drive it. And for me, there's also the issue of the ethical issues around AI. They're very important to look at. One wants to feel that they can trust the creativity of people, of products that are coming out. So there's that issue as well. But there's also the legal issues, right? The copyright issues. I'm sure people have seen, personally, we've seen AI, put a couple of things together and produce a song, and is that legal, is that ethical, and things. So there's a lot that we need to unpack with AI, and of course a lot of it is very exciting. Like I said, I use ChatGPT myself, like, as somebody who writes a lot. It's helped me sometimes to speed up my sort of writing process. But I try not to lose myself in that whole process as well. So, and I think we all have to learn to do that.
Okay, thank you very much. That was very helpful. Malik, yeah. So, Peter spoke about copyright issues, and of course, we've seen many situations where certain images which are not true, they've been used to misinform. For instance, there was an image of the Pope, the Catholic Pope, and he was in a puff jacket, which of course was found to be untrue. And then of course there's another issue of deep fake audio and all of that. So we are saying that AI can transform the entertainment industry, but of course we also have to do it the right way. We have to ensure that we're using AI responsibly. So how can a creator, or would I say the industry in general, how can we spot images used for misinformation?
Thank you. That's a great question. First of all, when we go past the facade and the buzz of AI, we understand that it's just a tool. And the tool can be used both ethically and unethically. And for instance, I use it as a tool to speed up my work process, but also to create. But the things that I create cannot be created by the next person because I train my own AI neural network with my own data. You know, there's something called scraping, and scraping means when it gets the data off of the internet from everybody without permission, and that's where the problem lies. So I understand that because I work for big brands like Cadbury's, Marvel Studios, I can't be a part of that unethical thing. So I had to train, my neural network for that. So that being said, it's a tool, and it all comes back to the user and not the tool itself, because I can use it for anything. And literally, I used it for aspirational reasons and inspirational reasons, while some other people could be using it for deep fakes, misinformation, disinformation. But what I would say is, for you to be on the forefront, if you want to understand how not to be a victim, is to first of all understand the technology. How can it be used? I could see any image today, I know it's AI because I play in that space. A lot of people will look at it and go, wow, that's real. But that's because I understand, from, the physical sides and everything to it. So first understand this tech, its use case, the solution-based case, and it's not just a buzzword, it's a tool. So yeah, that's how I say. Yeah.
Sorry, can I add something? And also, people have been scamming for centuries. Like the internet just makes everything a lot closer. And scales things up. So people can see, today is a fake picture of the Pope. Years ago, there was something else. So I keep saying it's about, you can't take out the human, no matter what the tech is. At the end of the day, it's always about the human.
Okay, thank you very much. Still on you, Malik. There is this... You did a fashion show, an AI-powered fashion show for elders. I actually encountered that on Twitter, and I didn't know it was you. I think it was recently I discovered it was you because, it was amazing. And I read an interview on CNN where you discussed it and your thought process. And you mentioned that, of course, you use AI for your work to speed up the process. So I can believe that you are among the few persons or the few visual artists in Nigeria that are doing that. So for someone who's already in it and someone who's thriving in it, what essentially do you hope to see from other artists or players in the space looking to use AI? What essentially do you hope to see from them?
To adopt the technology for solution-based things, because first of all, there's a divide in the world, and that divide is the ones that don't understand it, that are saying, no, we don't want AI, or the ones that are saying, yeah, it's a tool, to speed up or for whatnot. But first, the thing is, understand it. There are many tools there that you could use. There are many tools that are even useless in terms of the AI that is, you could just try to use it for your work and it messes up your work. You know, like he said, you can't take away the creative person from it. It's always from your experience and from all of that feeds, you know, your final output. But I would say adopt the tech for one, to understand it. If it works for you, use it. It's not a must. You know, there are people that still that don't use technology if it doesn't work for them. But for me, I've always been a tech inclined person, from virtual reality to augmented reality, finding many different ways to express myself, you know, in a very innovative way, which is why I play with AI. But I also understand the other side of every technology. There's always two sides to it. So I always like to play on the side that actually works for problem solving, or that actually works for things that could inspire or aspire. So understand the tech, first of all, before you even start to say you want to play in any space with it. Then, yeah, we'll take it from there.
Yeah, thank you very much. Okay, so for Ebenezer, hello. Okay, so to you, I ask. Okay, so the world is changing. We're using AI in different ways, you know, and as a musician, of course, we've already seen people use it to create albums and all of that. There was this, I think early this year, a song that AI was used for. I think it featured the voices of The Weeknd and Drake. Yeah, and I heard it, and of course, it was nice. But if someone had told me that, oh, AI did this, I would not have known, because I mean, their voices, the blending was superb. So of course, when stuff like that, will I say, surfaces, and we see more of that happening, does that reduce the value of the musician's work? Of course, we know that the musician has put in the work for that, but by using AI, do you think that the musician's value is reduced? When the song drops and then people are listening, do they say, oh, the musician did this or the AI did this?
Thank you for the question. I don't necessarily think, in my opinion, that it takes away from the effort from the artist. And the reason why I say that is because, so one of the things that we do in artist development is when you want to develop an artist, you have to, first of all, educate them in the differences between the creative side and the business side of the music, right? So I think it's just that in Nigeria, we don't have proper structure. So I was checking Instagram a couple of days ago, and I was going through a video of people who had written songs for famous hits, actually. And I think about a lot of Rihanna's songs, for instance, were written by somebody else. So in other cultures, these things are very normal. But over here, we're still growing, we're still getting accustomed to it. So taking whatever from that spotlight, it is very normal for an artist to have their work dissected into different sectors, into different sections or whatever. So bringing that down home to your question, AI, it's not counterproductive. On the flip side, actually, is very, very helpful. Like Paul said, it saves time. It helps the artist be able to churn out content faster. And in our world that's going more digital right now, it's important that you are churning out content as quick as you can, because every other person is putting out content, right? It also democratizes access to production tools. So back in the days, I'm an artist, I want to record, I have to book studio time, I have to look for a producer that matches my sound. Now you can do all that from the comfort of your room. So if you actually look at it, the pros kind of like outweigh the cons. I know you asked just about the benefits. Do I also go on with the risk as well? Or do I have to wait until you come to that part? Okay, so in summary, actually, no, it doesn't. anything to make your work easier, to just get the content out. I think where the artist now has to worry is things that have to do with copyright, plagiarism, like Paul also said, the ethical side of it. For instance, let's say genre like rap. If you want to use AI as a rapper to write your lyrics, I mean, that's cool. That's all right. But you don't want your fans to know that AI actually wrote this. There was a time Drake was so popular because they said he had a ghostwriter, and people don't realize it, but that actually kind of like dented Drake's career. People started seeing him as you're a singer writer. So for a genre like that, it kind of gets like a niche problem. You don't want people to see you like, so that AI writes for you. So yeah, copyright, plagiarism, the ethical side of it. Also right now, like Paul also said, the legal side. So there's no proper framework right now to accommodate, like you said, the song that had Drake and The Weeknd. It got so big, Universal had to step in. There was so much back and forth with the DSPs. Do we take it down? Is it violating laws? And at the end of the day, I think it came down to the fact where the part where the DSPs now have to now start tweaking their terms and agreements and all that stuff, which with time is going to be more contemporary and more mainstream. So in answer to your question, I think the pros outweigh the cons. So if you're an artist here today and you're able to use AI to assist you in your production, there are even albums that are out there that are a collaboration between both human effort and AI as well. And if you even think about it down to even using AI, I know people today who are learning about prompts. So you even have to know, you still have to master how to use prompts with your AI as well. So it's not just about going in there and just typing in blah, 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 blah. You have to learn how to speak to the machine to actually get the exact thing that you want. So I hope that answers your question.
Can I say something? Right?
Yeah, sure.
So I've noticed in most of these conversations, right, there's always a, sort of commingling of NFTs and AI. And just coming from the conversation of, copyright infringement and things like that, right? Because we tend to look at NFTs as, these pump and dump mechanisms, same as crypto. But when you look at the technology underlying it, right, it's sort of defined to authenticate and protect ownership of, digital assets, right? That's what it is. So long term, right, is that when we see these issues whereby we have multiplicity of content running up and down, right? So you have an artist that, people are using AI per se to like duplicate their work. And like personally, that's good for the artist if you're the one producing that content because you're multiplying yourself. But in a case whereby it isn't you, right, and you can't really control what people are doing, the only best way where you can sort of generate or collect value from your piece of content is by proving you are the owner. Like you are, that piece of content is yours. And that's where the underlying technology of NFTs come to play. So it's the same reason why I talk about like the features of NFTs, right? It's like a virus. And for most of the problems it will solve, we haven't yet paid attention to them. But going down the line, we're going to really look at how this non-fungible tokens will help creators, industry experts, artists, musicians sort of protect their content and sort of democratize how they spread that content. So I just wanted to add that.
Sorry, Michael. Can I add to that as well? Because, like you said, AI, NFTs, there's like a lot of similarities between the two technologies. And I like to tell people that with the more the digital economy gets bigger and gets more popular and gets more valuable, we're going to see a lot of tools like this coming to the entertainment industry. Because if you think about the digital economy, the entertainment industry kind of like drives it. So I'm talking about music, comedy, movies. These are the things that are actually making young people rich right now. So with technology like NFTs, I don't even want to go too much into that because my question is about AI. But I am crazy. Actually, Ven is my guy. Ven even knows me, but he doesn't know my my metaverse handle. We're in the same we're in communities as well. So with music and NFTs. NFTs are actually going to liberate a lot of artists, and they don't even know it yet because apart from ownership, it helps with the community growth and building your fan base. At the same time, you get to make more money, whether it's passive income, whether it's money from your own digital assets themselves. And also these non-fungible tokens are going to be like a channel into global liquidity, because you can't talk about blockchain without talking about DeFi. He was talking about finance and the monetary policies, which is like the biggest effect of blockchain tech. So with NFTs, you get access into global liquidity, which means that you can find a buyer for your stuff 24/7, 365. So I don't want to go too much into that because that's actually Van's question. Thank you.
Sorry,
Yeah.
can I add something, please?
Okay.
I wanted to link it to what our keynote speaker said, which I enjoyed very much. It was very, very good. Thank you for that. I'm going to link it to that, and then link it to this, and link it to this. So I like what he said about solving African problems. I think sometimes when these new technologies come, everybody gets so excited, and everybody's like, yo, 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 yo. But then we always forget to come back and solve Africa's problems. So here's the good part. If you remember how our industry started, when we were in the early days, it was like wild, wild west, right? We had a lot of piracy. You know, we couldn't control our own economy. We had people stealing our songs. We had sites jacking the songs and everything like that. So from that point of view, a local application for NFTs would be sort of doubling down and reiterating the smart contract, right? And making sure that you are able to assign ownership of a digital property to a guy. So which would help us immediately reduce piracy. It's one thing that the government has been struggling to do for years. They can't do it. They've been changing DG of NCC 20 times. They can't do it. We've been going for meetings in Abuja every year. Can't do it. The truth is that, you know, if we get the right people in the room, we could fix that with NFTs. That's not the same NFT as people trying to sell art for $20 million. See, that's a pipe dream, right? That's something it's a Hollywood thing, right? Oh, there's these 3 monkeys, you know, buy them for $10 and make $3 million. I don't do that, right? But applications in real life where you can say, look, can I protect these artists, right? Can I make sure that and then back to AI and the question of ethics or copyright. When the AI does come for this music, right? The AI itself goes and finds that there's an owner and therefore cannot sort of jack that thing. So it actually works together seamlessly. And I just want to reiterate again, everybody in this room, as long as we are looking at, I used to work for a crypto bank, right? A lot of people, I used to work for blockchain.com, and my job was every day looking at Africa, and I was looking at Africa, Ghana, you know, and we had problems from how do we fix KYC to why are Africans only keen on using crypto for remittance, and, you know, and all that. And I realized that all of us Africans in this room, and again, that's why I like what the keynote speaker said. If we come back and look at solving problems, we know that we don't need everything. Like, it's a great technology, but we don't need everything. We need to take the ones that apply to us and apply. So when I hear people tell me Web 3.0 and all that, I'm like, okay, fine, thank you very much, but how does it fix the problem in front of my nose? And I think if we all start from there, I think we'll be fine.
Thank you very much, Paul, for that insightful response. So, to the audience, we want to take questions. So, because of time, we can only take one question. So, if you have a question, please raise your hand.
Please, no questions.
Okay, we have time for 2 questions. So, Yeah.
Okay, good afternoon. My name is Ali Fatik. I have two questions. It's just one or two. Okay, you can,
One or two.
one.
Just one. Just
Okay,
one.
just one. Okay. Okay, so what collaboration opportunities exist between traditional entertainment companies and tech startups specializing in NFTs and AI?
Who are you directing the question to?
To any of them, actually.
Sorry, can you repeat the question again?
Okay, the question was, what collaboration opportunities exist between traditional entertainment companies and tech startups specializing in NFTs and AI?
So, one of the ones we're seeing right now, right, is how Buju is really just using his heads by BNXN, right? Sorry, BNXN, not Buju. And he's basically using his his NFTs to token gate experiences by himself, and also provide value-added services. So, for instance, I think like the Island Block Party is happening, and there's a gate fee, right? But if you own the NFTs, you sort of get access, right? Through the BNXN. So these are some of like the collaborative edges we're gonna see. And I know there's a huge problem with ticketing generally, that there's a huge fraud market in ticketing. NFTs solve that, right? Over time, you're going to have, and this also happens with better user experience. Frankly speaking, I think the whole blockchain user experience is trash. It's been like that for a while, but with better user experiences, right, where I don't have to like open like 10 wallets in order to know where which NFT is, or like change my network, right? When it's seamless, you're going to see that integrate into ticketing shows like this. It's going to be seamless. You might not even know. You might just say, "Hey, I bought a digital asset, and because of that, I entered this event for free, or I get a 50% discount," right? So we're going to see a whole lot of that happen over, the spring of years, whereby we see lifestyle, culture, entertainment sort of take advantage of the verification of ownership that non-fungible tokens bring to the table. And I think that's going to be a huge industry, probably before we get to the metaverse and whatnot. But that's a practical example of what I think that partnership will look like.
Sorry, Michael. He said something that I want to just throw light on. Sorry, if you don't mind, because he mentioned traditional and he mentioned user experience. So just before I came up, I was asking someone there about something called account abstraction. So I think it's very important to say that I don't think we can onboard traditional companies and brands onto Web3 without account abstraction. So account abstraction is a standard that's pretty much it's been discovered by developers to abstract away a lot of the things that make using blockchain apps clunky and very terrible user experience. Like Ven just said, all that, do this, do this, do this, do that. So bringing it down to layman's terms, with things like account abstraction, I can have, there's someone in this place, where's Paul? Paul is on my IG. Some months ago, I sent Paul something. Well, not you, sir. There's other Paul over there, my boy. So I sent Paul something that I thought it was very futuristic, and it was how you could turn your Gmail account into a wallet. So you can only do that with something like account abstraction. Before now, if you want to use a blockchain app, you must get a wallet. You have to go and download a Coinbase, download a MetaMask, or download a SafeEye, because we're building a wallet actually, a smart contract wallet. But account abstraction has now done things where you don't necessarily have to download a wallet. You can turn your email into a wallet. So I'm thinking, as an artist, 5-10 years from now, or as a music agency, So right now, the way the music industry works is I record music, I take it to DistroKid, I take it to CD Baby, I take it to TuneCore, and they put it to Apple and Spotify, right? But that's not sustainable because then you have a third party, you have a middleman in your money. Now with blockchain technology and things like account abstraction, you're not going to need DistroKid and TuneCore anymore, and it's coming. So what happens is I want to create my music. I can put it on Spotify, I can put it on Tidal, all that stuff. So what I do, but I can also have the option to create 100 copies, 1,000 copies on blockchain, right? I mint it, and then I'm able to send it from my wallet, like I said, not an app anymore, your Gmail account. I can send that to all my fans or send it to anybody who wants a copy of it. What happens from that point onwards, it's not my business. I'm just trying to look for a way to make the user experience as seamless and as more similar to what we know, how we use, in quotes, Web 2 systems. So I hope that answered this question about bringing traditional bodies. I didn't get what you said entirely, but I was taking it from what Ven said. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. The next question, please.
My name is Temi, and my question has to do with the NFTs. Like, I really need like a better understanding about NFTs and the risks, the possible risks AI can cause to the future of the entertainment industry.
I think you have two questions in one. Can you, rephrase that?
Can you like rephrase it?
Okay, I said I need like a better understanding on the meaning and all about NFTs. Like, I don't really have like a better understanding on it, and also the risks that is possible AI can cause to the entertainment industry.
Can I take a? Okay, I can start. You could.
All right, so I think I'll answer for NFTs, right? And I'll just make this simple. NFTs are unique digital assets that you own. So they are tokenized. It could be an image, it could be content. They are digital assets, but that you own. And the way you verify that you own it is by having a token in your wallet, right? It's as simple as that. Now, what that token can do, it can serve as an access card, it can serve as an image, it can serve as anything to verify that you own it. It's equivalent to like, so if you had a Nike shoe, right, you check if it was authentic with like the swoosh and everything. With that token, you don't need to do that. You already have it in your wallet. So by the time you see a shoe that is tokenized, you're like, oh, I own that shoe, right? So it's just unique digital assets that you own. Forget the buzzword, forget everything. That's simply what it is. It's really not that complicated if you pay attention.
Yeah. So your second question, like I keep hearing about risk in the entertainment industry. There is no risk to the entertainment industry at all. There is no risk. I mean, unless you believe that human beings will stop being bored, and I don't think that's going to happen. The entertainment industry does a specific thing, right? It entertains. And I think that human beings will always want entertainment. So what we should talk about is the risk to, and change is a constant thing in any industry, right? So you could say, is there a risk to music labels? That's a better question, right? So, or is there a risk to labels, traditional labels in the way that they were 10, 20 years ago, right? So Chocolate City is 20 years old. We are 20 years old next month. We've been around for 20 years. And I promise you that the label we were, please clap if you can. The label that we were 20 years ago is not the label that we are today. Like, we are very much AI compliant. And we should hire more NFT people as well. I'll talk to you after this. But so yes, is there a risk to a certain kind of music label? Yes. Right? Is there a risk to a certain way of doing things in Nigeria today? Yes. But in terms of the industry as a whole, it will only grow. I think we are now in the golden era of African entertainment industry, right? We have never been, more more popular, more desired, more demanded globally, right? As you can see that there are a lot of businesses that have been growing in Africa. I think it will only grow because if you look at some data, like, you know, Nigeria, Africa is the youngest consumer market in the world, right? The average person is 17 years old. I think almost 70% of Nigerians are 17 years old and below. That's ridiculous. It's amazing. And if you look at Africa, Africa is 65%. So we have the youngest consumer market in the world. Those young people will need to consume things, right? And it will only grow. So there's no risk to the entertainment industry. But what there is a risk to is the way people operate. So again, going back to what our keynote speaker said, right? Focus on, and I think he said, I don't know what word he used, I made some notes. He said, focus on the problem that you can identify and you can see that we need to solve, and use AI to solve it. I think if you keep it that simple, it can only get better.
Thank you very much, Paul. We've come to the end of this panel discussion, and I really want to thank the four of you for being here. I know today is meant to be a public holiday, but I mean, we're here, and you didn't just come here, you came prepared. I mean, your responses were fire all through. And to everyone here, of course, I thank you once more for being here, and I really hope that when we leave here, of course, we are leaving with new knowledge, fresh knowledge about AI, NFT, and the entertainment industry. And I believe we can all say that the industry is growing and it will keep growing. So thank you very much.